It's a month filled with adventure. Welcome to Talk of the Town, everyone.
We try some new things this month, like a Segway tour across Blue Mountain.
I teach Kim how to brew a healthy drink that's been around for centuries, but it's becoming very popular right now. It's called Kombucha.
Plus, we visit Pocono Raceway on a quiet day to check out the solar farm that's taken the track off the power grid.
The Poconos has a rich tradition of jazz music. We visit a camp teaming students with jazz icons.
And this month, we celebrate our independence, so it's the perfect time to support the men and women in our military with care packages. Details on how you can get involved a little later in the show.
But first, did you know one of the most prominent stables in the world of harness racing is found right here in the Poconos?
Irv Miller grew up with horses as a member of the Amish community in Illinois. There's still a spark in his eye when he recounts the first time he realized he could make a career with his passion of training horses.
So I was just 14 and a half years old working for a standardbred farm. I worked there with harness horses for him for 6 years. So that was my high school and college, was learning about horses.
It's a harness racing heaven. Tucked in the foothills of the Blue Mountain, just south of Wind Gap, is a place called Wingate Training Center. The views are amazing, the surroundings serene. But the track is fast, loud, and exciting as a nationally known trainer of champions prepares his horses for the big tracks on the East Coast.
We train horses to race out of here with a lot of other people that race mainly at Poconos, Chester, Yonkers, Meadowlands. Probably those 4 tracks is overnight racing and just constantly racing, probably about 7 days a week. Each track has their separate days, but we train them and compete and try to get the purse money at all 4 of those tracks, and then we go other places to race stake horses.
You might be thinking, wow, they must do a lot of betting at the track.
I say you either feed them or you bet them. You don't do both.
So you'd never bet on your horses?
No.
I'll do it for you, all right?
Right, there you go. You'll bet the name.
The morning we visited, Irv was already busy training. Zach bravely jumped right in for a thrilling ride.
We'll get another lap or so and then we'll make a little speed. Okay. That speed will show you a little different too. We'll jog one more lap and then go a little mile around 30, 35. Pick it up a little, Vinny. Harness racing is a big job, a lot of work to get a horse to compete at the level we want to compete at. It's a family business. It's, you know, families can do it. Some people do it part-time, just race a horse for fun. But we do it at a pretty competitive level, trying to have the best in the country, and doing it that way, you've got to really put a lot of time into the horses.
Is that the quarter mile time, 30 seconds? Or?
No, 2:30 for the full mile. We just don't talk about the 2. Haley, how fast we go? 35, 25, right in the middle.
You've got a lot of high hopes for Trolley.
Yeah, Trolley was our Hamiltonian hopeful last year. He was Hamiltonian, goes for a little over $1 million, and he really had a good shot at that last year, and he had a foot problem come up, and we just couldn't get over it. But coming back this year, he set the track record at Tioga Downs last week, and with a little hope, we're hoping that if he stays sound, he'll be one of the best trotters in the country.
Talk about what's involved in the training to get ready for a race.
We start by breaking them in the fall, like in September, October, and get the babies broke. And then we start with miles of like 1.5 miles a day, 2 miles a day. We do that for, say, 45 days, month and a half, 2 months. And then after that, we start increasing their miles, and we get them up to 3 miles most of the time. So 3 to 4 miles is the most we go with a baby, with a 2-year-old. And we just start showing them speed and working them together.
We have trotters and pacers. Our breed is standard breds. They're divided into 2 groups, trotters and pacers. And we race in a race bike, so it's a 2-wheeled cart that they pull, and you have to maintain your stride. We always race for 1 mile, usually 10 horses in a race. So the race bikes are very light, designed to go fast. When you're training a horse, you use a heavier cart to help build up muscles and make sure and then you put everything as light as possible when you're trying to go fast. So all the other stuff is just different techniques to try to make them as fit and as fast as possible.
Believe it or not, some of these horses even do cross training.
Some of the horses that don't need the track work, we'll put them in the pool to swim them and get their lungs up to more aerobic work, and then we'll just put them a little less on the track. They have to go in the shower rack before they go in the pool to keep the pool as clean as you can. After they go in the pool because of the chemicals and stuff.
To rinse it off and get it all off.
Have you ever had a horse that couldn't swim?
Oh yeah, you'll have one out of 50 or something.
They just go right down?
Well, they don't not swim, as they just swim and flop all sideways and can't get going.
And just like other elite athletes, they also enjoy trips to the spa, in this case, cold salt hydrotherapy.
You're going to be so happy when your legs feel good.
I think it really helps a horse that's got maybe some sore feet or sore ankles or something. The salt water really helps to cool them off each time we put them in. And what happens if we have a real nice horse, like you saw Trolley train today, he'll go in the spa after he trains, he'll go in the spa before he races and after he races. And what happens is over time, it just keeps getting that horse just a little sounder and a little sounder.
The post-training regimen can also include mud body wraps.
It's a facial for their legs.
It's a mud, and the good mud, you can find different kinds. They put different ingredients in it. But when you put the good mud on that's good, you put it on and you coat it so there's no holes in it, right? So it's solid. If you go 10 minutes after you put it on and put your hand on it, it's hot. It's really warm because it draws all the heat out of their legs.
So it's another inflammation buster.
I'm just wondering if it's the same mud they use in spas that they put on our faces.
It probably has some of the same ingredients in it.
Yeah, probably.
Caring for the horse's feet is also extremely important.
The blacksmith is very important because the horse has to have the right amount of hold of the racetrack.
So you just took off the old shoe.
Just pull the shoe, we look at it and see the way she's wearing it.
And what does that tell you?
If they're landing hard one way or the other, sometimes they do that because of maybe they're a little sore or something, and sometimes you just need to make an adjustment. You try to keep them as level as you can.
So when you're clipping that off, is the hoof really kind of like a toenail of sorts?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they grow.
We shoe a horse on a common principle about once a month. But once they start racing, their feet get water more, they grow more, the shoes slide inside a little more. So sometimes we'll shoe them every 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks when they're racing. That's why we're
it's really
shoeing
worn
them.
out.
Yeah.
And so that's like a month worth of wear.
Right, that's 2-3 weeks. Depends on the horse, some wear more than others.
Yeah, we just fit them to the foot best we can. I've done enough of feet to know that if the nail doesn't sound solid, typically you might be in the wrong spot, so I start out lightly.
It's quite a manicure.
So we've spent the morning learning all about the hard work that goes into harness racing.
Now it's time for us to hit the track and have some fun.
Yep.
What's our horse's name?
Living in a Dream.
Living in a Dream. That's a great
Living
name.
in the Dream, yeah.
So if you use heavier carts when you're training, and then you put Marie and I on. So we were actually helping you train your horses today.
Yeah, they got a great workout.
Had to pull extra weight.
Extra people.
You did good. You guys did good. Yeah, just like everything. The horses are a little keyed up and stuff, but I like doing it just to show people the different, what we do. You know, it's a lot of fun.
It's my job, but every day is different. It's a lot of fast-paced action. You never know what's going to happen. It's a lot of fun job.
You know, it's tough a lot, for the most part, a lot of traveling, you know, dealing with 1,200-pound animals every night, day in and day out. It's a lot of work, and it's a little bit harder than you'd imagine.
Watching it on TV doesn't do it justice. It's really very close. Like, there's not much room between the horse that's in front of you and the horse that's behind you, the one that's next to you. It's really tight, really fast, and you can win or lose a race in a split-second decision very easily. It's all not much time. It's happening very quickly.
It's a lot of speed, a lot of high adrenaline, and it could be a lot of fun. It could be dangerous. But,
Get a little dirty?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not nice when they go to the bathroom on you, yeah. No.
You're behind them.
Yeah, there's only one place you can go, right?
I would say right now they have 330 or 40 horses here. And that entails a lot of people because a groom takes care of 5 or 6 horses, and then a trainer might take care of 10 horses. So if you equate that out, there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people getting housing here in town and different things. They say the little motel down the road, it stays pretty full through the summer.
What do you want your neighbors here to know about? You know, they probably drive
by.
Most
people don't know is they don't know we're back here because it's kind of off the beaten road. That we just don't mind if people come out and watch them train. We're very open to letting people come out and seeing the horses and seeing them train. We're a little cautious about them being in the barn because of the biting or something. The horse might bite them, but as far as coming out and watching them go on the track and stuff, most places we're at, like in Florida, you always have 4 or 5 cars a day stop by and watch the horses go just because it's a little different thing, and we're fine with that.
I know all horses are just like people, different attitudes, different work ethics.
Absolutely, and that really factors into it. You need a horse, we always talk about their heart. They have to have a heart that really tries, like they have to want. When you turn for home and they're eyeing the other horse here and here, they have to want to fight them off and win the race. So if you can train them right and have them where they know they're a winner, they're just like anything else. The easier they can win, the more often they'll start winning. They'll just get better and better.
It's a beautiful day to hit the slopes here at Blue Mountain Resort.
There's no snow. It's awfully green, but the views are amazing.
Yes, they are, and you haven't seen anything yet. We're going to be trekking all over the mountain.
Are we taking a hike?
Not exactly.
A Segway. It's a 2-wheeled, I guess just a mode of transportation. It's completely different than a bicycle. I kind of liken it to a 2-wheeled electric golf cart because it's quiet. You might not go fast on a Segway. It's more about just something different to experience, the outdoors. All right, everybody, take your helmet off the Segway.
Okay.
You're going to place it on your head just like it was a bicycle helmet. How does that feel? Does it feel too tight? A lot of times Segway tours will take place inside cities, on sidewalks where there's a lot of people around. So this is more of a off-road, if you will, Segway. The tires are larger. We don't do 4-wheeling. It's a nice, easy tour of the mountain.
If you're doing it for the first time, it's going to feel a little weird because you've never done it before. But the key to Segways is to just relax and have fun. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is, and the quicker you learn and more comfortable you feel. And then you can experience the other part of it, which is enjoying the views and everything else.
You can put a hand up here. As you go, put a hand here. You want your foot right in the center of that keypad.
Perfect.
Apparently, you are leaning forward a little bit, so try to find your center, just like in yoga. Ta-da, you found it. That was fast.
I do feel yoga in me right here. My
See?
center, Zach, my center right here.
You do. You
have to find it.
A lot of muscle and balance.
Only because she did yoga last month. That's why she feels her inner yoga.
Look at you. You can see your reflection.
I see myself.
And now stop.
Yep.
Now I want you to do a 0 radius turn, just bending.
Either way.
Yep. Take your time. That's beautiful.
Woo.
Zach, I'm coming for you. Are you getting nervous?
I know you won't hit this camera.
The Segway tours are new to Blue Mountain Resort this summer, and after a quick overview of our new wheels, Marie and I were ready for our mountain adventure. So how fast can these things go?
Well, you know what? We have them set on turtle mode.
Turtle mode?
Yes.
So we're on turtle mode, Marie.
How's that feel? Let's see you stop. Excellent. Excellent. Look at you guys. How you feeling? Good?
Good, yeah.
Okay. No real sharp turns or anything like that either. Like I said, don't be a jerk.
So far, so good.
We are not being jerks.
No, you guys are.
No jerks here.
You're doing wonderfully. You're really catching on quick. If you don't ski or snowboard at Blue Mountain, which is a very popular sport, it's a good way to see our mountain and how beautiful the views are. During the summer, it looks completely different without snow on it. And like I said, a lot of people don't ski or board, and they can still come up and enjoy our mountain on a Segway.
Whoa! I went through a big gully and I survived. Woo!
There you go. It really gives people an opportunity to experience the mountain if they aren't skiers or snowboarders, and it's good for any activity level. So anybody can do it. Groups of family can come up if you have young kids and stuff. Like it's literally for everybody. Our goal is to get people outdoors, and we really felt that this was a way to do exactly that and expand a little bit more to people who can not just come up and eat at Slopeside and like play in the courtyard a little bit. Now we can get those people out on the mountain and see what they wouldn't normally see.
The Segway tours at Blue Mountain Resort run until the end of October. Head to our Facebook page right now, like the correct photo in our July album, and let us know your favorite part of this segment for a chance to win 2 tickets for a 2-hour Segway adventure. Good luck.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you for the adventure.
Oh my gosh, you guys are wonderful. We all have our limbs. Everybody's got their legs and their arms.
Nobody fell in a ditch.
We went up the mountain, we went down the mountain.
And
we weren't jerks,
right?
We weren't jerks.
We were not jerks. No jerks on this tour. You guys rock. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
So much fun.
We have our Pennsylvania 400 weekend coming up July 28th through 30th. Another triple header weekend, so we have the ARCA cars on track on Friday with the truck series on Saturday, and then the Sunday is the Monster Energy Cup Series Pennsylvania 400.
Pocono Raceway is quiet today, but all that changes the last weekend in July.
That's when the next NASCAR race turns this place into a small city with almost 100,000 people.
And all those people consume lots of electricity.
Did you know the racetrack generates all its own power?
100% of all the energy that Pocono Raceway needs is made right here. And it feeds back through the meter and goes right into the track, and we're not using it. On a day like today when we're closed, our local neighbors are taking advantage of the power that we're putting onto the grid.
The solar farm was built 7 years ago after much environmental research and with a $16 million price tag.
We started construction in April of 2010, and by August of 2010 we turned it on, and we've been off the grid ever since.
And how's it going at this point?
For us, it's great. We've been able to offset all of our power, help the community as well. So this is a 3 megawatt system. We'll make close to almost 4 million kilowatt hours a year. So that's enough for several, almost 1,000 homes equivalency. We got 39,960 First Solar U.S. made panels. All the steel is from California. All the wood that you see on the panels on the racks are from the mid-Northwest. So everything that we did here was U.S. based as much as we could.
There are 25 acres of solar panels, and that requires a lot of mowing and trimming.
So we're here to help.
Kim, this is going to take us forever.
It's a good thing they have more help than just us.
So with a fenced-in area of 25 acres, the panels cover about 17 acres. To offset what we're doing here, we invite some sheep in every summer. So we have about 50 sheep that a great farmer decides he brings up here for us, and they mow the grass for us. So they're slacking a little bit right now. I think all that rain we've had recently really helped the grass grow. But there are 50 sheep hiding here somewhere. They're a little skittish when it comes to people, but they spend the summer in here and they help us most. We don't have to bring mowers in here at all.
The sheep arrived in early June, and we soon realized they wanted no part of the video camera.
There you go.
We got a little too close.
They're safe in here with the fenced-in area. There's no predators that can get into them, and it's been really a great piece for us. the kids, you know, going to school drive by, they get all excited. The neighbors drive by, they get all excited. And we hear in the spring all the time, when the sheep coming back? When the sheep coming back? And then the fall, everybody's sad to see them leave.
Yeah, happy arrangement for everyone, I guess.
Yes.
Being a good steward of the environment is something Brandon and everyone at Pocono Raceway take very seriously. The solar farm is just one part of it.
It's not about what, you know, how much money we're making on it. It's about what we're doing for ourselves and for the community at the end of the day. We're the first NASCAR track to ever release a sustainability report. And you know, because of the solar farm, I've gotten to know the folks at the Green Sports Alliance. I actually serve on the board now. And the Green Sports Alliance is a great motivator, working with all these different teams, leagues, and venues around the country to really drive sustainability and what we all do as sports properties, because fans will listen to us, right? They'll do what they see. We can lead by example. This year we've started really composting a lot more. We have a goal of 75% diversion by the end of next year. So if we can divert 75% of our waste not to go to a landfill, you know, and it's all composted or recycled, that's our ultimate goal of what we want to accomplish. You know, the state of Pennsylvania has some challenges when it comes to renewable energy and some of the things that the legislators have done in Harrisburg. We're working to hope to rectify that, but look to the future of what renewable energy means to not just Pennsylvania, but to the United States as a whole, and glad that we're here as part of it.
It's great to see Pocono Raceway leading the way with their environmental efforts.
If you're heading to Pocono for the upcoming race, be sure to check out the solar farm and look for all those sheep.
Well, we've got great news for one lucky viewer. Pocono Raceway is giving us a family 4-pack of tickets for the upcoming Pennsylvania 400.
Just head to our Facebook page, like the correct photo in our July album, and let us know what you learned during this segment for a chance to win. Good luck.
Still ahead on Talk of the Town, we head to Marie's house for a trendy but very old drink. Cheers! Marie, what is this concoction that you've given me to drink?
That is kombucha.
I've seen it in stores.
This is my homemade kombucha, though. What did you think?
It's different. It's got a little bit of fizz. You can tell it's a little bit fermented, right?
Yes, it's fermented. Kombucha is a fermented tea drink. You start with sweet tea, and then you use a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast to create your kombucha, which to me, it kind of tastes a little bit vinegary, doesn't it?
A little bit vinegary.
A little bit champagne-y.
Yes. So what's the reason that we drink this?
Well, it has all kinds of beneficial bacteria and yeasts that are really good for your gut and really good for digestion. So a lot of people start out every day drinking kombucha or drink a little bit after every meal. And everyone's different as to what they like. But in some cultures, this is something that you do every single day. And I've decided I like it. My kids like it. So I brew it here at home. And it's kind of fun. Do you want to learn how to do it?
Sure. Let's head to your kitchen.
Are you going to do it yourself later? No.
No, but we'll do it here.
So Kim, I usually will brew 2 gallons of kombucha at a time. So it just so happens that this has been sitting on my countertop, room temperature, for 2.5 to almost 3 weeks. This has been sitting. And that SCOBY I told you about is this. So we're done. This is the SCOBY. It's a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. You can see how it grows. This is the new part. The whiter part is new. The browner part is old. And you can actually start peeling these in half at some point and it will just continue to grow. So take yours out and put it in there if you want it. Will you touch it?
I mean, I did wash my hands. It looks kind of like, you know, mold.
It's not mold. It's bacteria and it's yeast and it's alive. So it's your friend.
It's my friend, so it's good for us.
It's good for us, right.
Yes, and you can see it. All right.
So now that is going to get put into the next batch. So we're just going to put it aside now because we don't need it until we start the next batch, which I pretty much, as soon as I do this, I start a new batch. So
right away.
Yes. So we're going to set that aside for now. Then the next thing you need to do is This kombucha is just plain kombucha. It's been brewed, like I said, for 2.5 to 3 weeks. I double ferment mine, I should say. So this has been fermenting, and I like to double ferment it with different fruits or flavors, and you can do anything you want with the flavors. The one that you tried earlier was cinnamon and vanilla, and I had one that was apple cinnamon, but I do cherry, and I do ginger lemon, and really it's endless, whatever you want to try. As long as what you're putting into the kombucha has some kind of natural sugars in it, it will eat that sugar and continue the fermentation process.
Here's some jars. Okay.
So, well, let's make these 3 cinnamon vanilla.
That's easy. One stick in each?
One stick in each is perfect. Okay, and then, easy enough, just a little bit, a couple globs of vanilla.
Okay, you said we need sugar, but I'm not thinking there's a lot of sugar in cinnamon and vanilla, is there?
A little bit in the cinnamon, but we're gonna add some honey to help that out. And the honey, you can, and this is all personal. You can put a lot of honey, you can put a little honey, whatever it is that you like. And really, all of this is about experimenting. I'm still experimenting with mine with the double ferment to see how fizzy I can get it to be.
What I noticed with the kombucha that you gave me, it's not real sweet.
No, it's not, because the SCOBY eats all of the sugar. That's what it's eating. So it's eating that and making the drink itself actually more of a pungent kind of vinegary taste, and they can taste a lot different. If you have kids and you want them to drink kombucha, give it to them early because it'll still be sweet. The longer you let it sit, the more pungent it's gonna get. All right, I always strain everything.
Just pour?
Yes. I don't know if you're gonna...
It didn't get messy yet, Ree.
No. Okay,
Could
just
happen.
slow down a little bit because we're gonna come up to the top.
Do you fill
Keep
it all
going.
the way?
Yes, you wanna fill it pretty close, a little more. That's good. Okay. A little more. Gotta stop.
Oh, well, I never said I was a great pourer. All right, Ree, you have some lemon and some cherries here. What other flavors are we gonna make?
So I do one with just cherries, and if you put just cherries in there, it's almost like a red wine when it gets that little fizziness in it, so that's yummy. And ginger lemon. So there's a lot of naturally occurring sugars in all of these things. So if you put ginger and lemon in the bottom of those, and I would use all that ginger, just divide it between those 3 jars.
I was gonna say, ginger can be a little spicy. You don't care, huh?
I like it. And again, this is something else you can experiment with yourself as far as how much fruit you like in something. There are no rules. It's how you like it.
What about the seeds from the lemon?
I just put them in, I just squeeze the lemon.
You don't care?
Out a little.
Squeeze it and drop it in.
Yep, squeeze it and drop it in. Everything goes in there. Okay. So, same thing.
Okay, we still have more here.
And as far as straining it, there's not really much, you can notice there's nothing really being strained out. I just do it just in case there's any kind of chunks that you don't want to end up in your drink. And down at the bottom, you can see there's a little bit of sediment.
All right, now I'll hold and you can pour. Do you have a favorite flavor at this point?
I think my favorite so far is the cinnamon honey. Whoa. The cinnamon honey, you have to take it right at the top, that it gets fizzier.
I just got worried, that's all. It's interesting to me that you said off camera that you had to buy a special strainer that wasn't metal.
That's correct, because metal reacts with kombucha, so they tell you you definitely should never store it in anything metal, but not to even use tools, metal tools.
And then how long does this have to sit?
This is going to, for the double ferment, I'm gonna sit this at least 3 days, up to 5 days. You can experiment with whatever you like. I've found 3 to 5 gives me some fizziness that I like to have in my kombucha. So, and it's again, room temperature.
All right, Ree, now it's time to make a new batch of this kombucha. Is this all sweet tea? What is this?
Yep, it's just sweet tea. I use half black, half green tea to make my base. And I make it in a pot this size. I use 10 tea bags in a pot this size.
Okay.
And I add a half a cup of sugar. And I use an organic cane sugar in mine because I like to try to keep it as all natural as possible. But it does need sugar. You can't make kombucha without sugar. The main thing about this is that you cool it down before you put the SCOBY in, or you will kill your SCOBY. So we're gonna put these into our gallon jars. This one's a little tricky to...
I think you gave it to me because it's tricky. All right, ready, set, go.
Not bad.
I'm improving.
And this is the last pot. Basically, you just need enough to fill the jars. So I've kind of figured that out over time, how much it takes.
And if you have a little extra, you can just have a glass of iced tea.
You can have a glass of iced tea. All right, I leave a little room there for the SCOBYs because we have to bring them back, your friends.
the ones that we pulled out before, now we're putting them back
we're gonna
in.
put them back in.
Okay.
So, grab this guy first. And you just settle them on the top. Doesn't matter which way's up or down.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the gross out part right here.
And I'm not gonna waste this little bit of juice that came with the SCOBY.
Of course not.
It's going right in there. And then we're just gonna cover them up. This is just so nothing gets in there. And I put a rubber band on it because now this is gonna sit on your countertop or somewhere
and it starts
relatively dark and warm for 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Well, I guess we've officially made kombucha, or at least I have. You've been doing it for a while.
That's right, now we just have to wait.
We celebrate our independence this month, so what better time to do something nice for the men and women in our military who ensure our freedom.
The Mauch Rod and Gun Club in Jim Thorpe sends care packages to our soldiers every month, and they're always looking for donations.
Every month we send morale packages to the troops in Afghanistan, and we've been doing it for about 10 years now. We send 3 to 4 boxes a month. With goodies and touches of home that they can't get, and it really boosts their morale.
Marie and I went shopping and picked up some supplies.
It makes you feel good when you buy things you know are going to our troops.
I'd like to thank you ladies for bringing all the supplies for our troops. Looks like quite a bit that you brought, and it'll be appreciated.
Nice variety.
Yeah, we're glad to help out. It's such a great thing that the Mauch Rod and Gun Club is doing. So what do we need to do?
Okay, this box is going to be for non-food items.
Okay. Good idea to keep the soap away from the treats, right?
Right.
Okay.
So we can start with the baby wipes. They're the heaviest. They should go in the bottom.
And the soap. And big square things like that. All right.
Baby wipes, and obviously baby wipes are a good thing.
More soap. This is some heavy soap. Wow, you can fit a lot in these boxes.
Oh yeah,
when
sure can.
Soups can go in.
Okay, so that's a nice way to fill the top.
Yeah, it's light,
nice
and
light.
And
they take up a lot of space, but it makes the top of the.
So you don't want cans of soups, right?
No.
This is the kind you want.
Yeah.
Because of the weight.
The weight, and also you don't know if they're not pop-up. Do they have can openers? You know, this is much easier. All right, ladies, the box is filled. I think we can close it up.
Yeah, wait, hang on for a second now. Hang on.
Hey, Joe.
We forgot some important stuff here. It's our favorite stuff that we always eat there after having a cup of coffee. It's the tasty cakes.
That's going to go in the food box.
That'll go in. That's correct. That'll go in the food box.
So we'll get rid of this one.
And how about we pack some Tums, Joe, just in case? Because you know, if somebody hasn't had tasty cakes in a while and they have like 20 of them, they might need some Tums too.
And we'll send deodorants, body wash, tasty cakes, okay? Because there is none there, trust me, okay? But we send a lot of stuff that they could use, okay? Especially they can use out in the forward operating bases. They don't even see some of this stuff. It's stuff that we send, and hopefully other people send.
These can go in the bottom too because they're heavier.
There you go.
Right? You can use as a cushion.
Yep. The Twizzlers, yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Very good.
Boy, they're going to be happy when they unload this box.
Yes. There you go. What they do is repetitious every day. They'll go out, they'll come back, they'll sleep in the desert, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but they do it. And you have to show appreciation for that. I hope everybody stops and thinks about that.
The Mauch Rod and Gun Club picks up the tab to ship multiple morale packages every month, and they've been doing so for 10 years.
We pay the shipping. Say if you would give $20, Marie or Joe will pick out something that they figured are $20 worth of tasty cakes.
So what happens with the box once it leaves here?
Okay, it goes to an APO, which is then shipped to Afghanistan. There, it'll go to the unit and the chaplain receives it. He will unpack it and kind of lay it out as in a store setting, and then any of the soldiers can come in and take what they need. Before we seal up our boxes, we usually try to put in a personal note. A little touch of home, a little note from home goes a long way.
Flags and plaques line the wall at the Mauch Rod and Gun Club, each sent from soldiers half a world away.
Our donations, they sent us flags and stuff back, and it's just like every time you get something, it's a boost. It really knows that they appreciate what you're doing.
We have flags that have been flown over combat zones. We have plaques from different units. We even have a Kurdish flag, and that they could take the time out of a war zone or a busy day to acknowledge us must mean that they really appreciate it.
Lots of Rod and Gun Club members donate every week to ensure the packages keep going to the troops.
It's just what I gotta do, period. It's the right thing to do.
To take care of.
They're our neighbors, our husbands, family, and it's just the right thing to do. There's no other word for it.
Okay, ladies, the boxes are full. Now, if you would put your personal notes in there, they'll really appreciate it.
We're all done.
Great.
All
Sounds
done.
great.
Ship them off, right?
Good to go.
You can drop off items at the Mauch Rod and Gun Club every day of the week from 1 p.m. until 8 p.m., except on holidays. Check out our Facebook page for a complete list of all the items.
And don't forget, the soldiers love tasty cakes. When Talk of the Town continues, we visit a camp that brings together kids who love jazz music. One camp in Delaware Water Gap this summer, it's all about the music.
And not just any music, we're talking jazz.
The camp started 10 years ago. Rick Chamberlain and Phil Woods were instrumental in beginning this incredible education program here. We skipped a year. There was a lot of things that happened in the community that we all suffered the loss of the wonderful Rick Chamberlain, and then shortly after that, the amazing Phil Woods. And I am on the COTA board of directors, a fairly new member to the board, and I have a affinity and invested interest my entire life in education. So we have a mighty faculty of 7, and we have 18 kids. We have 4 performing groups, and each and every one will be so unique and individual. The big emphasis is on individual self-expression, which is the root of what makes jazz great.
They were evaluated yesterday as to their skill levels. They were placed in combos, where they will be learning to play together as a combo, and they have, of course, professional teachers in those combos.
Some from Jersey, a couple from upstate New York. I think there's somebody here from Canada, and then some, of course, Stroudsburg and East Stroudsburg and Pocono Mountain East and West.
I know I want to be a musician, probably a jazz musician, but I know jazz is going to help me with whatever I want to do in the future.
Playing with your combo members, and especially as a rhythm section, from the first day you get a lot better just playing together, and also the faculty here, getting to know them.
Jazz is definitely, if anything, the music of passion, because everything you have to do, you have to put your heart and soul into it. I mean, really, when you're playing jazz, you're not thinking all the time, you're just playing what your heart feels like doing.
The masterclass series this year, outstanding. We're kicking off today with Bob Dorough, iconic Bob Dorough from Schoolhouse Rock.
But we have a joke. They're going to grow up and take our gigs. I'm going to try to tell them about what makes it swing. You know, jazz has to swing. This is really a jazzy song. Picking up words and crazy Santa Claus is singing. I got 3 favorite cars that get most of my job done. Sing it one more. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? I got N button on. That'll get you pretty far. Dig this. It's not like classical music, which is da 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 da. You know, it's got da 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 da. That's the swing element.
How important has jazz been to you?
Well, I fell in love with it and came to New York City in 1949. It was still flourishing there in New York City. So-called 52nd Street, you know, famous street of jazz. And I got there in time to sample some of that liveliness. Well, I came to New York because that's where it was happening. Charlie Parker was here, Max Roach, Bud Powell, Dizzy Gillespie, all those guys were here. Sing it. Junction, junction, what's your function?
What was it like to be in that master class with someone like Bob Duvall?
That was amazing. It's going to be unforgettable. Well, it is unforgettable, but yeah, it was awesome.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Being his left hand was a little bit intimidating, just because he'd go and do little musical motifs and I have to just follow what he was doing, but I managed to keep up a little bit, so for that I'm actually really happy today.
It was awesome. I've talked to him so many times. I've even had discussions with him, but I've never played with him before, and it felt really good knowing that I'd played with a jazz legend. Well, he's giving me advice when I'm playing, rather than thinking, okay, what are those chords and all of that, just sort of zone out and do whatever you feel like doing, as long as it makes you feel good.
You know we usually get our hands into anything we're doing.
But today, we're just in awe of all this amazing young talent.
It's just day 2 of camp, and in 5 days, these young musicians will hit the recording studio.
I think that's one of the extra special, awesome things about this camp is that component is involved. And the studio itself, run by Kent Heckman, is called Red Rock Studios. Grammy Award nominated studio with the Phil Woods Celebration Orchestra, and it's just, I've recorded several CDs there myself. Kent's a genius, so that fact that it's such a outstanding, it's not like you're going into someone's garage, you know, I mean, this is really something special that Kent's offers to the kids.
Well, it's amazing because if you're here during the day, particularly at the beginning of the week, it's nothing but cacophony. You have these small groups working all over the place, and you're kind of wondering, oh dear, you know, how is this ever going to happen? By the end of the week, what you're hearing is music coming from all of those rooms, wonderful music and blending. It's amazing what they do in 1 week. It's really incredible.
But I think they'll have their little butterflies in their stomach, but they know they're going to get it done because we're not going to be in there forever. It's like, you got an hour, let's get it done.
And what is it like to get with a group of people, all have your own piece of that music and make something so beautiful?
At first it's a little nerve-wracking because I don't know them, but as I get to know them more, I can see that we have a lot more in common than most people would think.
This is a fantastic faculty, which is mostly the reason I wanted to come to this camp. I came here once a few years ago. It was a great experience, and I thought I could get more out of it now that I'm more advanced than I was.
You can catch some of these young musicians in performances during the Celebration of the Arts Festival in Delaware Water Gap, September 8th, 9th, and 10th. Like the proper photo in our Facebook album and tell us your favorite part of this segment for a chance to win 2 free tickets.
It's a festival of all the arts, so we have fine arts, we have crafts, we have theater, we have dance, as well as incredible music, most of which is jazz. It's totally different this year. It's actually like a mini Bethlehem Music Festival. We have 3 performance sites. We will have performances on the hillside. We're also using the Castle Inn Ballroom for wonderful performances, both in music, dance, and theater. And we are using the Deer Head Inn this year, and your wristband will get you into all of those venues.
Pretty amazing after just 1 week.
These kids really are the talk of the town.
2-2-1-1-2.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how you guys keep that stuff straight while you're reading.
We don't always.
Yeah. It's clear we screw up occasionally.